You can see here on this account that they've completed 80% of programming with Carol, which is abnormally high. The average is around 20-25%. So if you're around there, you should be okay. And we're not going to start with the homework milestones on Friday until this Friday. Right. So if you're kind of worried, oh, did I do my homework for the first week of class? You shouldn't worry too much about that, because we're just kind of all getting to know the class. Homework and deadlines and assignment grades and all that are not going to start until this Friday. So hopefully that makes you feel a little bit more comfortable. But my point here is, you could see here he did 80%, or this person did 80%, and then they skipped forward 2 chapters, and then they started doing JavaScript and graphics, and they did 39% of that. And if they follow the same pattern, they'll go up to 50%, and then they might skip forward to JavaScript control structures and start a little bit of that, and so on. This curriculum has been very meticulously put together so that the skills learned in activity 4 and 5 are used in activity 6, and the task in activity 7 utilizes the skills from 6 and 5, and so on. So it's kind of like an Algebra 1 or Algebra 2 curriculum, where you need yesterday's work in order to complete today's work. So I don't want you to skip forward. And if you ever do come to a place where you get stuck and you're like, man, I don't know how to do this, that's when I want you to come to me. There are videos in the how-tos page that will be able to help you out on the more difficult problems. And you can access the how-tos page right here under the daily schedule. Right? And it's reverse chronological order, so you might want to start like here at the bottom, right? Like, oh, I don't know how functions work. It's kind of confusing. So you can come here and you can, watch this video that helps you out. And oh, the random hurdles problem was really hard. Well, if you feel like you've given it all you can, then you can come here and you can get a little bit of a hint and breakdown of how to complete that, right? So yeah, so the point here is, don't skip forward. Okay, and if you do run into a problem that takes a really long time to solve, take a really long time to solve it, right? The way that I see it is, the problems that give you the hardest time to complete are problems that you will never forget, right? And that you'll be able to apply in future programs, right? Problems that don't take you very long to complete, well, it'll be easy to forget those, right? Because you haven't really dug it deep into your brain. And some of these problems, especially the Carol challenges, are quite time consuming. Like this super cleanup, oh man, it took me a while to get this done personally, right? And some of them are just kind of mind-boggling. Like, oh, how can you get Carol to count, right? Once you start getting to some of these problems in the future, you'll see that they require quite a bit of code and quite a bit of thought and trial and error and failure, and that is the process of programming using a computer. And whenever I'm in class and I see somebody get up out of their chair, raise their 2 hands in the air and say yes, right, I know exactly what happened. I know that child spent the past 3 or 4 days working on the same problem, banging his head against the wall, trying different ways of getting it done, and finally got it done. Right? And I always point to them and I say, only a programmer knows that feeling, right? And so that is the part of the process, being frustrated, trying different avenues, getting really complicated with it, and just kind of trying to find a solution at all costs. Okay, so that's a part of the process of programming, and you should embrace it. Okay, and you're just learning, so some of these problems will take you a long time to solve. And some of them maybe not so long, but it's all to be expected. Okay. And I guess that's all I need to say. Don't skip ahead. And if you have issues, come to me and we could talk about it.